Well, don't worry. On this show, I'll be your language detective. I'll answer your questions about the English language and help you solve these English mysteries. It's Hard-Boiled English Live. Hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to Hard-Boiled English Live. I am your host, English teacher, instructor, and language detective, Paul Duke. And I'm streaming to you live from Vancouver, Canada, on the west coast of the continent, to Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. We're live on Twitter. We are live on FCTV for all you gamers out there. We're live on Africa TV. We're live on Dailymotion. I think I'm missing something, but oh well. Tonight's a very special show, and I'm glad you joined me because tonight will be the last show of this season. I know it's sort of in the middle of the winter, but this show is going to shut down for a month, and we'll be back up and running early in the spring. Okay? And to celebrate this end of season show, I've brought a special guest tonight who's going to co-host the show with me and do a little English teaching right here live. Now, for those of you who don't know me, allow me to mention a few things once my mouse works. Somehow my mouse is not working well. Okay, let's see. What do we do here? Okay. I am the creator and host of the YouTube channel Hard-Boiled English. And on that channel, you can find my main series, English Weirdness. And this series is an in-depth exploration of strange and irregular grammar points from English. Okay, so check that out. Also, I am the co-host. It is my great honor to be the co-host of the Ego Education podcast with my co-hosts John McGraw and Anish Daya. And our new episode will be out next week, episode 8, with some very special guests, the former students of Anish in Toronto, Rie, Chihiro, and Yusuke. So check that out. It's a pretty interesting conversation we had. Tonight, I'm going to bring on pretty soon, actually, so we have lots of time with him, a very interesting young man named Franco. And Franco is known as Franco the Tutor online. And he's a fantastic English instructor I met in the last 2 years while working from home during the pandemic. And I was really impressed with what he's doing with English education. So I'm going to bring him on tonight and do a bit of a lesson for you and share some of his methods and techniques. But to get started, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to say hello in the comment thread and tell me what country you're from. It's always my favorite part of the show is getting to know you guys and finding out where you're from. I would say to begin with, I think we have Paye, who says, I'm present. We have Natalie with us saying hello. What country are you in, Natalie? We have Engadi joining us. Welcome, welcome. We have with us Gabriele. We have my friend HY in Korea. Welcome, HY. We have Sensei Rie from Brisbane, Australia. Welcome to the show. We have Angel. Angel's with us from Mexico, another fine English educator. Who else is joining us? We have Eric. Yes, from Etiquette. If you're not familiar with Eric's work, Eric's an amazing educator who originates from South Africa, but he works in Korea, and I believe he teaches high school students or elementary school age students, young English learners. But he also has a live show in Vancouver it's Sunday morning at 5 a.m. But look for that, Etiquette. Eric, feel free to type in the comment thread the spelling of etiquette or the link. I'd really like to see some of these English teachers in the audience watching your show because I think it's fantastic and I'm a big fan of what you do. And And I also appeared on Eric's show once doing an interview. He interviewed me. I'd like to say hello also to Alexander. Welcome, welcome. We have Carmen from Peru. Welcome, welcome. Happy to be here. Virtual hug. Very nice. Thank you, Carmen. I appreciate that. Who else is with us? Facebook user. Yeah, one of the funny things about this streaming software is when I stream to a Facebook group, you can comment, but I can't see who you are or your name or your avatar. So it's actually always better to watch me on Facebook at Teacher Paul Duke or Paul Duke, my profile or my page, or join us on YouTube or LinkedIn. We have Saki. Saki's with us from Japan. Okay, guys, here's how to find Eric's channel and information on Facebook. I highly recommend checking that out. Subscribe to his YouTube channel, but definitely watch his videos. Etacute is actually, it wasn't obvious to me at first until he mentioned it. Etacute is actually educate spelled backwards. That'll help you remember it. But I really admire what he does, so check that out. Especially since this live show will be down for a month. So you'll need some English education. Eric's the man for that. I want to say hello also to Irma. Welcome to the show. We also have Rosy from Guatemala. Welcome, Rosy. We have Elena from Ecuador. Welcome, welcome. Who else is with us? Did I miss anyone, guys? I apologize if I did. I want to make sure to say hello to everyone. And as I mentioned earlier, this is my favorite part of the show because you get a sense of where in the world everyone's watching from. And so many countries get represented here. It's just wonderful. It's really quite touching to realize that we're all connected like this. Susana from Argentina, welcome. We have Carlos with us. Carlos, what country are you in right now? I have a feeling you're in Colombia, but I can't remember. We have Fernanda joining us from Chile. Welcome, Fernanda. Carlos from Peru. Okay, great. Hi, Carlos. And yeah, we have Alexander. Oh, here we have Daisy Carolina from Paraguay. Welcome. And we have Johnny Salazar. Colombia in the house. I love Colombia. 3-4 years ago, I traveled to Colombia and had a visit for 6 days. It was very short, but I saw Bogota and Cartagena. Had a fabulous time. Loved Colombia, and I want to come back and spend longer. We have Gabriele with us from Peru. We have Tatiana from Colombia. Welcome, welcome. Lots of folks with us tonight. We have Giovanna. We have Gabby with us. Welcome from Mexico, Tijuana. I think I'm missing someone. You know what, guys? It's Aiko from New Brunswick. Aiko, I hope you fixed that little problem we talked about the other day. Was it this morning? I don't even remember. I hope that got resolved for you. I really do. We have Dahlia with us. We have Jaihaira. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. From Honduras. Welcome. Who else do we have with us? We have Yoshie from Japan. Welcome. We have Cristobal. We have Krishna with us. What country are you in, Krishna? India, welcome, great. Guys, I want to tell you something. I'm just looking at the counter now. We currently have 42 people watching live. And I think that's a record. I've been streaming this show for more than 2 years now. And that's the highest number we've ever had live. So thank you for joining me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very nice. So happy to meet you all. And if I've missed your name, I'm sorry. We have Maximo. And we have Alessandra from El Salvador. So many countries in the house tonight. Wonderful. We have Amalia from Philippines. Welcome. Wow, what a great group tonight, guys. We have Louis from Mexico City. Thank you. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's so many viewers cannot be here because of me. I'm a pretty boring guy. I have a feeling you're here to see my co-host, who's a very exciting guy. So thank you for joining us tonight. We'll have Franco with us pretty soon. Oh, we have Andrew with us. Andrew Tai, welcome. I'm honored to be part of your record-breaking session. Andrew here from Malaysia. We have Malaysia in the house. Welcome. Fabulous. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. It's very kind. Welcome to everyone. Tonight is a very, very special show. First of all, it's the last one of the season, so we're going to be taking a short break, maybe a month. We'll be back up in the springtime. I've got a few projects to attend to, and I'm honored tonight to have a very special guest and co-host with me. He'll be joining us pretty soon. So unlike usual shows where we spend a lot of time asking questions and doing breakdowns on the board, tonight I'm going to let my co-host lead the way, and he's got something very special prepared for you all. Well, thank you, Eric. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. And guys, if you want to learn some teaching tips, watch Eric's show on Etiquette. He's really fabulous teacher of teachers and also helps learners too. So either way, you can't lose with Eric. We have Karen Bloom in the house. Welcome. Who else have I missed? Now we're up to 43 people watching live. It's just wonderful. Thank you, guys. Yeah, very, very nice. Thank you, guys. So again, if you're just joining us, please say hello in the comment thread. Tell us what country you're from. Oh, we have someone from Bolivia. Jeanette. Hopefully I'm saying your names right, guys. I try to pronounce your names the way I think you would pronounce your names. I don't want to pronounce it with my boring Canadian accent. So is it Jeanette or Janet? I'm not sure. Number one, Jeanette. Number two, Janet. Janet, number two, or Jeanette, number one? You tell me, one or two. We have Aniel or Angel from Colombia. Wonderful. Who else is with us? Great to have you here, guys. I'm just going to check in with my guest and see how he's doing. And then we'll get the show rolling soon. In the meantime, how about a little mood music? Put us in the learning mood. Who else is with us? We have Elsa from Venezuela. Welcome, Elsa. We have Karen from Peru. Sir, I want to come in India. You are welcome in India. I want to come in my house and stay all life, sir. Well, sometime I will visit India, I promise. But I can't stay in your house all my life, or all your life either. But I appreciate the invitation. We have with us Angel from Mexico, another angel. I must be in heaven. There are so many angels tonight. We have Clemen from Guatemala. This is fantastic, guys. We have a nice group tonight. We're up to 45 people watching. Fabulous. One moment, guys. Our guest is having a little complication here. Allow me one moment to make sure he gets in here properly. I think I might have sent him the wrong link, so my bad. Sorry, Franco. I think I made a mistake. So he'll be with us in a moment, guys. No problem. Who else is with us? Oh, here we go. Here we go. So the name is Janet, or Janet, Janet, or Janet. Still more nuance to work on here. I want to say hello also to Blerta. Blerta, welcome, welcome. Guys, it's so wonderful. I can't believe this. There are 57 of you watching live tonight. 57. I have never had so many people watching this show live as tonight. So thank you all for joining. And as I said, you're probably not here to listen to me babble like my usual show. So I am going to bring on my guest, and we'll get our joint show rolling. Allow me to introduce my guest. Oh, hi Tanya from Mexico. Welcome, welcome. So allow me to introduce my guest. My guest is Franco the Tutor. He's a fantastic online English teacher who operates in Peru. I'll let him tell you a little bit more about himself when he gets in here. But I met him online last year and was immediately impressed with his quality of teaching, his passion, his personality. I think you'll like him too. So without hesitation, I'm going to bring on and introduce you to my friend, the amazing, the exciting Franco the Tutor.
Hello,
Hi,
everyone.
Franco.
Hello, Paul. Hello, guys, and thanks for having me. I'm so excited and so happy to give a free class tonight. So, how are you doing?
Well, Franco, this is incredible. And I know it's not because of me, but right now we have 63 people watching live. I've
60,
never had
amazing. That's a new record.
63. It's a new record. I've never had more. I think the previous record was 40, 41. Now
Yep.
we're up to six. Now we're
Oh
down
my
to
goodness.
56. So,
I think the numbers are going to skyrocket.
well,
For-
it's because of you. You're such an amazing teacher in person.
oh, thank
And
you so
for
much.
those of you who don't remember, Franco joined the show last year, and we had a wonderful show. And he was one of my most popular guests of the year, so I definitely wanted to have him back. And here he is. So, guys, here's what we're going to do. Franco's got a very fun activity and lesson planned for you. So I'm going to kind of hide in the corner because in Franco's presence, I feel small. So, Franco, let's give Franco our attention.
Oh,
And
thank you so much.
I'll let you take it away, Franco. But, oh, by the way, Franco, sorry. There are some viewers here who do not know you. So I wonder if you could just tell us a quick little introduction about yourself, a quick little bio.
Sure. There are so many students here watching the live stream on TikTok and here on YouTube, Facebook. So I want to say hello to all my students on TikTok and the ones who are watching now the live stream here on YouTube and Facebook. Well, my name is Franco, the tutor, Franco Larcon. I would say that Franco the Tutor is the name of my brand. And I teach English. I teach beginners, pre-intermediate, intermediate students, the ones who are basically looking for better their English because they just want to experience new things with this language. And that's basically my job. And I love doing it. I love helping people, meeting students from all different parts of the world. It is absolutely fantastic because now that we're using technology, we can connect to, oh my goodness, so many parts of the world. I never imagined that I would be teaching people from Central Asia, North
Yeah.
America, Europe, South America, and I can see that most of the viewers who are here are from those and regions. And I am very
Yeah.
glad and very grateful to Jesus Christ for giving me this opportunity. And well, I'm here because I was invited by you. You are my inspiration. Honestly, you're a great tutor, and thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for having me.
By the way, wonderful. Thank you, Franco. By the way, we just hit 70. This is amazing.
That's
Just
amazing.
amazing.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Yep.
So thank you, Franco. And again, Franco does amazing work online, and you can find out all his connections in the description box. But I'm going to hand it over to you, Franco, and I want you to lead the
Sure.
way here. And I'll just take a little corner seat here and man the controls.
Yeah, wonderful, because you're going to
Oh,
help me a lot. Okay, wonderful. Oh, yes. Hello, guys. Welcome to another English class. And as you know, I am Franco, and today we are going to have a wonderful lesson. It is the first time that you all can see the board, because when I go live on TikTok, my students can only see just half of it. But now you
uh,
see full board, right? That's wonderful. What are we going to do today? We are going to have a class. Yeah, we are going to use the simple present tense. That's very easy, very simple. And I'm going to be asking a couple of questions. So the first question that I have for you is, where are you from? Let me know in the comment section, where are you from? Now, to answer that question, there are multiple ways. You can say, I am from, which is very basic, okay? You can say, I am from Peru, I am from Mexico, I am from Ecuador, Guatemala, Holland, etc. But you can also use, I come from. I think that some students are going to ask, what is the meaning of this word? I come from. Well, this is a more advanced way to say where you are from. I come from, and after this, you can mention the name of your country. For example, I come from Mexico, I am from Mexico, I am from Costa Rica, I am from Ecuador, etc. And so I just want to read your messages. I am from Honduras, Peru, for example. I can see people from here, from Peru again. That's wonderful. Wow, that's great, guys. And welcome to the class. Now, I'm going to show you a picture this time. And what do you see here? I know that they are not sponsoring this class, okay, because that is Spotify. But what is this? What do you see here? This is Spotify. That is the logo of Spotify. Okay. And when you see this, what ideas come to mind? Music, probably, right? For example, Paul, what type of music do you like to listen to?
well, I love all kinds of music, but my favorite is jazz. I love jazz
Jazz.
music.
Okay. We are going to hear now our students answer this question. Now, what type of music do you like to listen to?
Okay. So they should type it in the comment box.
Sure. I just want you to use the comment box, and I want
Okay.
you to answer that question. What type of music do you listen to? And here we need to know that every time that we are using the verb listen, it should always go with to. I listen to. That is a very common mistake that many
Hmm.
students make. I listen. For example, many students say, I listen classical music, and that is not
Right.
okay. You should say,
You have to
I listen
listen
to,
to.
listen
Okay.
to, exactly. And those are very common mistakes. I listen to classical music, I listen to jazz, I listen to, for example, I don't know, pop, rock,
Salsa.
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 Do you like salsa?
I do.
Really? Wow.
But
Have you ever danced salsa or not?
I have, and I hurt myself, so don't ask me to dance again. I love to listen to it.
But maybe you can show us a little bit more of your
Uh,
talents.
another time, Franco, another time. But yes, I love
Don't
the
worry,
music.
that's okay. So we have here, what type of music do you like to listen to? What type of music do you like to listen to? And we are
Right.
going to use this structure in the following questions, okay? So let me erase this. I usually tell my students that I want them to take screenshots because I am a person who is always erasing the board. So the first one is the first question is, what do you do in the morning?
Okay.
What do you do in the morning? Okay. Now, to answer that question, there are many verbs. For example, what is the first activity that you do in the morning? What can you tell me, guys? What is the first activity that you do in the morning? What do you do in the morning? You can say, for example, and then you have to use a verb. For instance, I listen to music. I wake up at 8, right? That's perfect. I wake up at, I wake up
By the
at
way,
8. Tell
Franco,
me.
let me interrupt for a second. Should they
Sure.
write a full sentence?
If they want, they can write a full sentence. Yeah, for
Okay.
sure. Guys, if you
Good
want, you can
practice,
write
right?
a full sentence or just in, yeah, I don't want you to give me verbs. I want you to write full sentences.
Yeah.
You can also tell me the time. What time do you wake up? I wake up at 8. I am not a morning person, honestly. So I wake up at 9 or 9:30. What time do you wake up, Paul?
I wake up at 3 or 4.
3 or
And
4.
I wake
Wow.
up at 3 or 4 and I drink coffee.
And what do you do next?
I do some homework and then I go to the gym. So I wake
Wonderful.
up, I drink coffee, I go to the gym, and then I start my working day.
Wonderful. Wow. Well, I don't go to the gym, yeah, because I don't have time. I don't have the energy to go to the gym, yeah. For example, here Carlos Castillo says, I usually wake up at 6:30. That is so
Okay?
early, Medali, Korani. Angel Baltasar says, I wake up at 5. Okay, that is something very important, guys. Don't forget
Yeah,
that every time that you are going to say or tell the time, when you're going to say the hour, we use at, like I wake up at 8,
at.
at 9, at 10. If you don't use this, I understand what you're saying, but it is not correct. So you better
That's right.
say, I wake up at 8, at 9, at 7, at 10. Yep.
Yeah,
Um,
perfect.
Angel says, I wake up at 5. And Amelia Bernabé says, I wake up at 6. I'm here.
Good.
Then I have breakfast. Okay, there is another student who is saying, I have breakfast at 7. Okay, so what do you do next? And then we can use different verbs like I have breakfast. And then the time, right? I have breakfast at 7, 8, etc. I don't know. What time do you have breakfast, and Paul?
Usually, I eat breakfast late. I usually eat breakfast at 11 a.m.
11 a.m.
After
Okay, that's very
after
late.
coffee, after gym. I kind of skip breakfast to be honest with you.
Okay,
You
okay.
know, but Franco, I'm an old guy, so I gain weight easily. I have to be careful. So
But you're not old. You are very young, honestly.
thank you. I hide my gray hair easily. That's all.
Okay, okay.
You
Aha.
can't see it.
So we have different verbs here. I
Yep.
have breakfast, I wake up, and then here I read that some of you are saying I exercise, I drink coffee. Nice. I take a shower, Roxy. Jahaira says I wake up. I usually wake up. Ah, that's very interesting. I
Usually wake up.
wake up. Okay, guys,
Yeah.
there is something very important that you should take into consideration every time that you are making a sentence. When we are using adverbs like usually or always or can you think of
Often.
another one? Often.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Sometimes.
often, always, usually, sometimes they go before
That's right.
or after the verb. Aha. They go here
Yeah.
after the subject, before the verb. So I usually wake up. I always wake up. I often wake up and then at and the time. Okay, don't forget it. Don't forget it. It is very important to know that after the subject, you're using the adverb, and after the adverb, you have the verb. And after the verb, you can add some extra information. And that is very important. Okay. So now
Nice.
you can also use these adverbs of frequency. Yeah, you can use these adverbs of frequency to tell me what you do in the morning. Okay. Yes.
Your
For
turn,
example,
guys.
there is one student who is asking, am I talking about routines? Yes. When you are talking about routines, we usually place these adverbs after the subject before the verb. So that is
Yeah.
a rule. Yep. Okay. What else? What are some other activities? For example, here we have, what can you see here, guys? Tell me, what do you see here?
That looks like a picture of me, Franco, when I'm
Are you
hungry.
hungry now or not?
I'm a little hungry, but I can survive. But that looks like me when I'm hungry. I make that face.
Oh, yes. Every time that I am hungry, I always make that face too.
Yeah.
Okay, so, well, you can also say, I have lunch. Remember, lunch is the other meal that you have after breakfast. So I have breakfast or I have lunch. What time do you have lunch? What time do you have lunch, guys? What can you tell me? What time? What
What time
about
do you
you,
have lunch?
Apple? What time do you have lunch?
Well, as I said, I usually skip breakfast, so my lunch and breakfast are kind of the same. So I eat at about 11 or 12, and that's what I would call brunch, lunch and
Brunch.
breakfast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
and
you're
then I'll
right.
have dinner later in the early evening. Oh, we have
And
lunch at 8 a.m.
and you also told me that you exercise.
Yes.
And what time do you exercise?
I try to be in the gym by 7 a.m. because I go to the gym inside my apartment building, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a very quiet time. So I like to go in there alone. Later
Gotcha.
and earlier, there's some people, but usually
In
around
my
7.
case, I don't exercise because, as I told you, I am a person who doesn't have enough time, and I am working all day long. I
Yeah,
would like to have more time, more free time to exercise.
but you're
I used
but
to
you're so
exercise.
young and healthy. You don't have to worry.
I used to, yeah. Okay.
Young and healthy.
Just give me a second because I am.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going live on TikTok once again. There was a problem with my connection. Okay, so it is now time to start using do. Many students have many problems with the word do. When do we use do, teacher? When do we use do? We
Yeah.
have one question here. What do you do next? Right? Do. So remember, we use do with the subject you when you are making questions in simple
Yeah.
present. For example, do you exercise? Do you exercise? I want to see some comments, guys, now.
Okay.
Do you exercise? I just want you to tell me the answer. Do you exercise or not? Maybe you exercise, maybe you don't exercise. I'm a person who doesn't exercise honestly. Do you exercise? Now,
Oh,
how do you answer that question? Do you exercise? There are two options. If the answer is positive, then you can say, yes, I do. I exercise. Yes, I do. Or no, I don't. Yes, I do. No, I don't. We are going to use the subject you one more time. And here I have another picture. What do you see here? What is that, guys? Well, here we can see a plane that is flying across the world. And what verb can you think of? Travel, okay? So, do you like to travel? Do you like to travel? Do you like to travel? Yep.
I
Do
do.
you like to travel? Okay. So I want to hear, I want to read some of your comments. Do you like to travel? What about you, Paul? I love traveling. But what about you?
Y-
What can you tell me?
Yet, yes, I do. I love traveling. As I
Yeah? When
mentioned
was the
earlier,
last time that you traveled?
well, the last time was 3 years ago or 4 years ago when I visited Colombia.
Oh, wow. How was the
Yeah.
experience, dude?
Well, it was wonderful. I only had 6 days though, so I couldn't see much of it. I saw Bogota and Cartagena, but I also, if I had more time, I would come to see you in Peru, visit my friends in Brazil. So I will come back and see more of beautiful South America. But I love
That would be
travel.
wonderful. That would be wonderful. I think that we are going to wait for you with open arms. So come and visit
Thank
us.
you. I will.
Okay, so do you like to travel? Yes, I do. No, I don't. You can also extend the answer and you can say, yes, I do. I love traveling. Or I love traveling. I think that many people say this. I love traveling, but I don't have money. For example, I saw one comment here, and I think that if I'm not wrong, um, Chileen says, I don't have money. Okay, I don't
Yeah.
have money. Yeah, I love traveling,
Traveling's
but I don't have
expensive.
money. Well, in my case, I don't have money either, and I don't have the time. That's a problem, you see,
Yeah.
because I am teaching every single day and I don't have money, I don't have the time. Okay, what about the next one? What do you see here? What do you see here? What is
Let's get
this?
that. Let's get that big.
Closer? Yeah, a bit
Yep.
closer. Well, here we see a person writing on a notepad or on a piece of paper. So, do you write? Okay. Do you write? Do you write poems? Do you write stories? Do you write on your agenda? Do you write the activities that you do every day? You can say, yes, Franco, I do. Yes, I do. I write poems. I write stories. For example, you, Paul, you are a person who likes writing, and you also
That's
have your
right.
writing workshop. Yeah,
Yes, that's right.
yeah. So,
Um,
how often do you write?
well, that's what I do in the morning. Every morning when I wake up, I drink coffee and I write. So the first thing I do in the morning is my personal writing. Before I do my work day, I like to always do a little bit of writing. I love to write stories.
Wonderful. I I would like to have more time to write. I only write, I would say, what I post on Instagram or on Facebook.
Yeah.
and I write just a couple of sentences on my to-do list because I am a forgetful person. I usually forget many things. So yeah, I like to do these three activities. Okay, the last one. Here I have another picture. Aha, what can you see here?
Let's get it big. That looks like Paul dancing.
Yeah, pole dancing.
I don't think so.
The famous Michael Jackson's shoes, right? Okay. So the question is, do you like to dance? Okay, do you like to dance? Do you dance? So I want to hear some of your comments, guys, please. Yeah, do you dance or not? What can you tell me? For example, many people here are saying, yes, I do. I like dancing. Yeah, you can say, I like dancing or I love dancing. Yeah, wonderful. I like
I like
dancing.
it, but I do it poorly.
I also like dancing, but I don't dance well, honestly. Yeah,
You want to
you're
hear a
right.
secret, Franco? Want to hear a secret? Not many people
Yeah,
know.
tell me.
I used to dance well.
Oh, what happened?
Yes. I just got old and broken legs, so I don't have the talent anymore. But
Oh,
actually, when I was younger, you know what? I enjoyed dancing, and I danced a lot.
yeah,
It's great fun.
that's great. That's great. Honestly, that's wonderful because I don't dance because first, I don't have a partner to dance with, and number two, I don't go to clubs. So if I had a chance to go to clubs or discos, yeah, I would dance. I love the
Yeah.
idea of going to in clubs and discos. Okay, now we have do you, and we are now going to use other subjects like he, she, and it. Okay, I'm gonna cover this one. Should I use do when I am making questions like do he exercise? Do she exercise? Is that okay? Not really. So we are using does here, yeah, does he, and now you are going to create questions. What questions can you make? Yeah, what questions can you make this time? So I'll use your imagination this time. For instance, you can say, does Paul, okay, let's say, does Paul, he, does Paul, I'm gonna choose, does Paul play sports? Yeah, does Paul
Oh.
play sports? So what can you tell me? Maybe he plays sports, maybe he doesn't play sports. And as you can see here, guys, we have the verb in base form. Okay, so
Base
here
form.
you have the verbs in base form. So we cannot change that. We are always using the verbs in base form. Like, does Paul travel? Does Paul exercise? Does Paul write? Does Paul play soccer or play sports? Paul, do you play soccer? Do you play sports?
Uh,
Any
well, I used to. But I never played soccer. It's popular in Canada, but I never played it. I played baseball, basketball, and American style football. And I did martial arts, Japanese martial arts.
Oh,
But
wow.
like I told you, you don't believe this, but I'm an old man, so I don't do any of these things now.
Oh, that is wonderful. Okay, so here you have two different questions or two different types of questions. The first one, I'm going to use my pointer. Okay, this is the pointer, the magical one. So here
Love
you
it.
have, yeah. So do and does. Do you exercise? Do you like to travel? Do you like to dance? Does Paul play soccer? Does Paul write? every time that you're using the subjects he, she, or it, we are using das. And for the subjects we, you, they, we use do, as you can see. Okay? And that is a rule. I know that I don't like telling my students that they should remember grammar by memory, but it is always good, guys, if you time that you are making questions, these three subjects, we are using do at the beginning. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, now it is your turn. Okay, your turn. It is your turn, and you are going to ask us questions. Okay, so you can say, "Hey, Franco, do you?" And then you're gonna use a verb. Okay, so now it is your turn. You're gonna make different questions. For example, you can say, "Hey, Franco, what time?" Because we can also use uh, some question words like what. Okay, we can use what. For example, what time, Franco, what time do you check your mail? Okay, what time do you check your mail? When do you, I have another picture. When do you tidy up your room? When do you tidy up your room? As you can see, this is the real picture of my room. Okay, this is the real picture of my room. And my room is always a mess. My room is always a mess. And you can also ask, "Hey, Franco, when do you tidy up your room?" Or another question could be, and Franco, how often, how often how often do you watch movies? How often do you watch movies, for instance? Okay. How often do you watch movies? When do you watch movies? What time do you take a shower? Okay, so I want you to ask me questions this time. It is your turn. For example, here Edgar is asking, what do you do in your free time? What do you do in your free time, Paul?
Well, like you, I'm very busy and I don't have a lot of free time, but that's why I wake up early to make free time. So I would say in my free time I write and I exercise in the gym. And sometimes I go for a long walk or hiking. Sometimes I watch movies. I mean, I love movies, but usually I watch them in the evening when I'm tired, so I fall asleep.
Mhm.
So my free time is really in the morning. That's why I wake up
Oh, yeah.
early to give myself extra free time.
That's great. What time do you get up? Well, I get up. Lily Sanchez is asking a question. What time do you get up? I get up at 8 or 9. So that is a little bit late for many people. How often do you teach English? Every day. What about you, Paul? How often do you teach
Every
English?
day,
Every day.
7 days, 7 days a week.
7 days a week. What time do
Yeah,
you make lives? I mean, live videos. In my case, I
yeah,
always go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6:30 my time. You, Paul, you used to go live on Fridays.
that's right. This will be the last show for 1 month, and then we'll come back. Maybe we'll bring you back for an opening show, Franco, and we'll make a
Yeah, of course. We're gonna have a
record.
great lesson coming soon.
Yeah.
We have Learn with Thiran Sir from Nepal. Hello, Nepal.
Yes. Tirath is
And
a regular viewer. Thanks for joining us, Tirath.
And we also have another question by JSDOOM 101. How often do you watch Netflix? Oh, once in a while. What about you?
Yeah, not often. I
Not
don't have
often.
a lot of spare time.
Yep. Carmen, 1607 says, or she's asking, do you study another language? No, I don't. I am not studying another language. Um, I would like to study Italian because Italian is sounds very romantic to my ears. What about you, Paul? Do you speak another language?
Not well, but I did study Japanese in university, and I've spent a lot of time in Japan. My wife is Japanese, so we travel to visit often. And
Mm-hmm.
I teach a high school. I teach a high school online class every month. But I don't practice often. I don't often practice, so my Japanese speaking is like a baby talk.
Oh, okay. Roxy, how often do you take time? Do you take a free time for relax? How often do you take a free time to relax?
To
Oh,
relax. Yeah.
uh, on
You're a
Saturday
busy guy.
mornings because I'm a busy guy. Yes, yeah, that's true. Spelling channel, I think that he says he's a very busy person. Yeah, I usually take free time on Saturday mornings, Sundays, but I also teach on Sundays. Yeah,
Yeah. So it's
I
not
teach.
really free.
Mm-hmm.
You always have to you always have to get ready for the class, so you can't
Yep.
really relax, and it's not 100% free, right? That's how I feel on the weekends too. I might go and do something like hiking, but I know I have to come back for a class, so it's not quite that relaxing.
Yep. There is one question by Guyen Thi Tu Hong. I don't know if I am pronouncing your name well. I apologize, but I think that she's from Vietnam, and
Yeah.
she is asking, what makes you decide? Um, I think that I don't remember what makes you decide to be an English teacher, or what made you decide
Oh,
to become an English teacher. I think that is a question, but there is another
oh yeah.
one. Yeah,
Here we
what
go. Yeah.
makes you decide to teach English? Because I know that there are many people who really need to improve, and that's why I think that Paul and I, along with many other incredible teachers, go live every single week to give you guys great classes, because that's
Yeah.
basically the purpose behind it. Anish, hello Anish from Toronto, Canada. Welcome back, Anish.
Anish
Okay.
is another very amazing educator who's been on the show many
Yes.
times. Anish,
Yes,
welcome.
yes, I know. He's wonderful. Okay, so now we are going to take this away, and now I am going to ask the second question that I have for you guys. And the second question is, let me see it. What's your typical day like? I think that you already answered that question, so we are going to move on to the third question. How often do you study English?
Okay.
How often How often? Okay, how often? How often do you study English? How often do you study English? Now, guys, you can take your time to answer that question. And remember, when you are using how often, I'm asking for frequency this time. So I want to know if you always study English, if you sometimes study English, if you never study English, I don't know. And you can use different adverbs of frequency. For example, okay, so tell me, what are some adverbs of frequency that you know? Can you tell me some adverbs of frequency? For example, always, yeah. So when you do something 100% of your time, then that is something that you always do. What else? Usually, good, always, usually. What else? Sometimes. What else? I want to read
We
your
have a
message.
couple. We
Never,
have
yeah.
never,
Rarely,
rarely, every
rarely.
day,
Oh, every day, those kind of expressions. Hardly ever.
occasionally,
Occasionally, and never. Okay, never is something that you never do, of course. 0% of
it's
your time,
it's
5%
not
of
very
your time,
frequent.
yeah, 15% of your time. and 50% of your time and 85% of your time. Okay, so here you have the equivalences. That is an
Nice.
approximate. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so how often do you study English? Now I want to read your messages. For example, once in a blue moon. I love that one. Once in a blue moon.
That's great. Thanks. And I believe we pronounce this name like Win. Win. Gwing.
Win.
Wing.
Win. Really?
Yeah. I had a friend from Vietnam who pronounced his name spelled this way, but pronounced it Wing. Win. Maybe I'm close. I don't know. Tell me one for close and two for totally different pronunciation, and I'll practice
Yes,
later.
because I don't know how to pronounce that.
But I think it's Wing.
And
Gwen. Wang.
then we have Eduardo Osorio, seldom. Oh, I like that one.
Oh, very nice. I seldom study
Seldom.
English. What a bad student.
Okay. Yep. What is the meaning of the word seldom, guys? Do you know? What is the meaning of these words? Seldom. Like hardly ever, almost never. Hardly ever, almost never, seldom, rarely, yeah, frequently. I frequently study English. I study English every week. I sometimes. Okay, yep, that's nice. Okay, good job. Now we're gonna move on to the next question. So we know that when we are using how often, we can use any of or one of these adverbs of frequency. There are more adverbs, but in today's class we are just covering always, usually, sometimes, rarely, hardly ever, never. And as I explained to you before, because I want you to make now questions, but that's coming later. As I explained to you before, we are using frequency after the subjects, like I, we, and they. This time I'm not covering he, she, or it, only the subjects, like I, always, and then we need a verb, like study in base form. I always study, and then you tell me what you study. For example, I always study Greek. Did I tell you that I am studying Greek?
Are you?
Yes, but I am just taking some basic lessons. So I always study Greek. We usually study Greek. You sometimes study Greek, or you can change this and you can use the word English. Okay? And that is the structure. Okay? That is the structure. The subject goes first. After the subject, we have the adverb of frequency. Then we have the verb, and finally, the complement. What are we going to do now? We are going to see other time expressions. What are some other time expressions? For example, there is one friend. I don't know what happened. Okay, I don't know, guys, if you can still see me. Yes, can you see me?
Yep.
Okay, wonderful.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm going to erase the board. Yep. So I don't know, guys, if you have taken a screenshot. Yep, have you? Okay. We can also use time expressions. For example, I plus the verb. And here, I study. We're going to do study English. I study English. And then we can use other time expressions. What are some time expressions that we can use here? For instance, once a month. I don't think, guys, that you study English once a month, but that is a time expression. Once a because it is the color is not good, so I'm gonna change the color. Okay, I study English once a month, or you can also say we study English twice a month or twice a week, once a week. You see, I study English once a month. I study English twice a month. What are some
Franco,
other?
what do you think?
Tell
What do you
me.
think about this one? What about this one? Can I study English day in, day out? What do you think about that? Doesn't it fit the pattern?
Can I study English day in, day out?
That
Yep.
seems to fits your pattern,
I
right?
study.
Without the question structure, we could say, I study English day in, day out. So that's perfectly lovely sentence.
I
Thank
love
you.
that one. Yep.
And
What
our
else?
friend's first name is Huang. Thank you, Huang.
Juan. Juan. Yeah.
Oh, we have
What
this
else do
one.
we have?
I study English around the clock,
Around the clock,
24/7.
24/7.
We
Nice
have East
expression. Oh
Co.
my goodness, these students are wonderful. Yep, they're absolutely wonderful. Okay, so here you have a couple of expressions, and we can also use every day. What
We hope
else?
our students study every day.
Yeah, I think that we all do that. I think that those are some of the common and expressions
Yep.
that we use in English. And now it is your turn. Okay, it is your turn. You are going to ask questions with how often. How often do you study English? But you are not going to ask us how often we study English because we teach English, but we also study because I'm a person who reads in English. I watch videos in English, but maybe you can use other verbs here. For example, how often do you read? How often do you teach? So you can use other and expressions here, other questions.
Franco,
All
I
day,
study English all day long, every day.
all day long. I like that one.
So from the morning until the night, I study English. I teach it, but in teaching it, I also learn. Oh,
All day.
here's an example with a different verb. Our friend Huang says, I check my health every 6 months. That's good. Good to take care of your health. Gabriela says, I study English every 7 days. And we have, we have an adverb and a time expression. I usually study English every day and then practice. At the end, you don't need practice. You can just say, I usually study English every day. Full stop. Because practice is a verb, you already have a verb, which is study. I study English every day. Beautiful.
There is another student who is also commenting and saying, what about times? For example, I study English 3 times
Yeah. Good question.
a day. For 3 times, sorry, I forgot the S here. 3 times a day. Wow. If you say that you study 3 times a day, then you are a very dedicated student.
I like
Wow.
that.
Yeah, you love this. I wash my I brush my teeth 3 times a day, for example. On Sunday.
Franco,
Oh, tell me.
Franco, we have a question here. Maybe you can clarify.
Yeah.
Let me just find it. Yeah, what's the meaning day in, day out? Can you explain for them what this means, day in, day out?
For example, when you're saying day in, day out, that means that you're a person who is studying English. You are very motivated and very dedicated to do it every single day of your life, day in and day out,
Yeah.
which means that you study, I mean, that you follow a routine. And well, you are not someone who is doing it every single day, but you are following a routine, and that is the meaning of day in and day out. Do you
Yes.
have any other explanation for that one, dear?
No, I think you're right. I think it just means every day. Like if we think about day in would be the morning when the day starts. Day out, it's the end of a day. So this person studies all the time, right?
Yeah,
And you're
there's
right, regularly on a routine every day.
yeah,
Nice routine.
exactly. You're right. Day in, day
And
out. Good
routine's
one, good
important,
process.
right? Even if you just study a little bit every day, if you study every day, you're building. It's more important than studying 10 hours a day, I think. Study
Yeah.
every day a little bit.
So day in is when the sun rises, when the sun goes up,
Yeah,
and day out when the sun goes down, and that is the meaning
great.
of day in and day out. Yes.
I
Yeah.
love that explanation. That's great.
Yeah.
It's really related to the sun, I think.
Okay, now guys, please, can you, if you want to talk, okay, for example, there is one person here, spelling channel, saying, if you want to speak in English, you have to think in English. Yeah, I think that that is okay. Yeah, but this is a process. I mean, you're gonna do
Yeah,
it little by little. You need to study and get involved in groups, for example, and
yeah,
join classes. So it's a big process. Yeah.
yeah. I think as we learn the language, we learn to
Mhm.
think in it, right?
Now,
If you only know two words, you can't really think. You don't have enough words and grammar to think in the language, and you don't have
here,
enough sounds. So that's a good point.
um, now,
What's our next
guys,
one?
I think that you can ask some questions like, "Hey, Franco, how often do you?" I don't know. Maybe you can ask some questions. I want to read them in a comment thread. Is
Yeah.
there any other
That's
question that you have, Paul?
well, let's check our we're probably not going to have time for all of our questions that you and I prepared, Franco.
I don't think so.
But I mean, we can go for another 20 minutes.
Sure, of
Um,
course. That would be wonderful. So we are going. How often did you go shopping?
great.
Never.
Yeah.
I never go shopping. Is it true that women like going shopping or not? That's
That's a good question, guys.
a good
Ladies in
question.
the audience, is it true that women love shopping so much? Because most of us boys don't like shopping so much.
I never go
We,
shopping.
I go shopping if I need a specific item. I need new shoes, I go. If I need a new shirt, I go get a shirt. But actually, I'm a pretty tall guy, Franco, so none of my stores have my size. So I just order online.
Every time that I go shopping, I just grab what fits me. Okay, and that's it. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't find. I'm never looking for specific clothes. I if that shirt or if that T-shirt looks good on me, and that's it, I buy it. But
But
it's not like.
Franco,
Tell me.
but Franco, everything looks good on you. You're a supermodel, man. You look fantastic.
Oh, thank you so much, Paul. I don't think so.
Everyone, don't you agree? Don't you think Franco looks fantastic all the time?
I
He's
try
he's so
to.
he's charming, he's fantastic, he's handsome.
So we have other. Oh, thank you. I'm flattered. I have other questions here. How often do you hang out with your close friends? Now
Mm,
that we are facing this global pandemic, I don't often hang out with my friends.
hmm.
We usually get together two twice a week or perhaps twice a month, depending on how good their schedule is, because sometimes their schedules are busy and they
Yeah.
are working all day long like crazy. Yeah. How often do you do the laundry? Um, Twice a week.
Yeah.
The next one is, how often did you go to the barber shop? And well, I'm gonna be very honest. I never go to the barber shop. I just get a haircut by myself.
Oh, you
And
you cut it.
yeah, yeah. And I don't have like a long beard, so I don't need to go to the barber shop that often. But if I want to have a good haircut, then I will go to the barber shop.
When do you need a good haircut? Like for if you're going to a wedding or a party or
Like I'm
something?
going to a wedding, yeah.
Yeah. I haven't been to a barber shop in 30 years, Franco.
Yep. Probably.
I don't spend money on barbershop.
Oh wow.
Uh, how often do you have online meetings like this?
All the time. What about you?
Well, Friday nights, but I have private meetings with students during the week. So every day, I think, in a way. But live show like this, for me, once a week on Friday night. Or
For
if you're in
example,
Asia,
uh-huh.
Saturday morning.
Here on TikTok, one student is asking, "Hey Franco, how often do you go to the disco?" Um,
Oh,
I, I never go to discos because I'm working all the time, and I'm working on the weekend. I'm working on Friday nights, so I don't have time to go to the disco. How often do you cook? By Roxy.
oh,
Um, I cook in the morning, but my mother is the one who makes lunch and dinner. So yes, credits to my mom.
very nice. Very nice. How often do you cook?
Yep, wonderful. What about you, Paul? Do you cook?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I my wife works a lot. She's a nurse at a hospital, so she's working all day long. I have to feed myself, so I make my own food. Uh, I don't like it. I suppose I can make some dishes okay, but I don't enjoy it. I'd rather focus on my projects than be in the kitchen.
Yep. So I just grab whatever I find in the kitchen, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Roxy. And I don't know if you guys have other questions.
Yeah, what's your question, guys? There's another possible answer to this, Franco. Huang's question is, how
Uh-huh.
often do you have online meetings like this? Perhaps you and I should do this a little more often if this is the kind of meeting we're
Oh yeah.
talking about.
I think that we should go live more often, dear.
Yeah,
The
I think
audience
so.
like this. How often do you work out, Lunita? Lunita, I try to work out, but as soon as I wake up, I start having lessons, and after that, I jump in the shower. I have
Yeah.
breakfast, and when I want to start working out, I don't have the time, and sometimes I feel a little bit tired. So I am planning now. I am working on it. I would like to have more free time to start exercising more frequently.
Hmm.
How often do you visit your girlfriend, Maximo Chuchuyo
Well,
Sanchez? Hello, Maximo. Welcome to the show. I don't have a girlfriend. Yeah, then that's what I would say. I never visit her. I don't know where she is, where my future girlfriend is. I don't
yeah.
know. And you live with your wife, Paul.
Yes. So how often do I visit her? Well, every day.
Yep. Oh, there is
Uh,
one question here. Do you have one?
go ahead. What do you see?
What is the difference between good and well?
Oh, good question.
Good question. Paul, what is the difference between good and well?
Well, good. Well, sorry. Good is an adjective. It means positive. Something is good. It's an adjective, so you're describing a noun, like this is a good pen. And well is an adverb, which means positive, but it describes the verb. So I said
Different.
earlier,
Uh-huh.
I do not dance well, right? So I dance is the verb, well is the adverb. I do not dance well. But this is a good pen, right?
Exactly. So for example, you can say, I'm not good at dancing. I do not, I don't dance well. And this is
Yeah,
an adverb. For example, you can say, this is a good class. Okay, this is a good
right?
class.
Good class.
And Paul teaches well. I would
Oh,
say
thank you.
wonderfully, but yeah, we have the word well. So well is an adverb, and good here is an adjective. That is the only difference, guys. How
I
often
just
do
want to say,
you go to church? There is another question. How often do you go to church? Well, on Sundays, typically on Sundays. Paul,
yes.
back to you.
I just want to say hello to Chin Hee Kim.
Hello.
What country are you watching from? I don't want to presume, but it may be Korea, but she could be anywhere. But first time we're seeing the name, so thank you. Thank you for joining us, wherever you are. Oh, here's a question from Maximo. How often do you visit your girl? Oh, we've answered
I
that.
think that we
I
already
thought I was.
answered that one.
Yeah, there's. Here's a sentence example from Tirath. Here's a good comparison. I am not a good dancer. Why? Because I can't dance well. Good.
Good sentence.
Yeah.
Tira. Learn with Tira, sir. Yes, good sentence. I'm not a good dancer because I can't dance well. What is the difference, yeah, what is the difference between friend and a buddy? Friend, buddy. Honestly, I would say that these two words are kind of similar, but the word buddy is like more colloquial, more
Yeah.
casual. So yeah. So when you're talking to a friend, you're talking to a buddy. So you can say, "Hey, buddy," "Hey, friend." It is the same thing. Yeah. But friend is like more formal, and this is like informal, and that's it. You see?
Someone says, how
Oh,
often does
really?
Paul's wife work? My wife works almost every day. Actually, she works 4 days every week. She has one of these jobs that's considered very stressful. So they don't work every day. They have a kind of rotating schedule. So 4 days a week, 3 days to relax. Here's a good one. How often do you go out for dinner? Out to dinner?
On Saturday nights because my
Okay,
mother doesn't want to cook at that time, and I don't like cooking honestly. So we just go out, yeah, to dinner on Saturday
perfect.
nights. Yeah. What about you?
Sounds great. Well, I said earlier I don't like to cook, so my dream would be to go out for dinner every day.
If you can afford
Unfortunately,
that. Yep.
yeah, I need to be rich first. So, I live in Canada, and Canada's a very expensive country.
Yes.
You can make lots of money here, that's true, but it also costs a lot of money for apartment and food and certainly restaurants. So, even I know people who make a lot of money, they don't go to dinner every night. It's really expensive. So you have to be careful.
Yep.
My my wife and I will go to dinner once, maybe twice a month. How often do you feel down in the dumps?
Only when I hear bad news.
Yeah,
What is going on right now in the world that makes me feel down in
yeah.
the dumps. Yep.
Here's a question
Okay,
for
for
you, Franco.
example, Roxy. Okay,
Oh,
Franco, do you go to another country
sorry.
soon?
Let's.
Yeah, Okay, I'm just going to answer, and I think there is one question before that one. Franco,
Uh, country.
yes. Franco, do
Okay.
you go to, okay, other and another? Okay,
Good question.
so we have another and we have other. So another is basically used with singular nouns like another teacher, another pen, other teachers, other pens. You see, I am just going to turn off my, just give me a second, guys. Okay, yeah. So another is the one that we use with singular noun, and other is the one that we use with plural nouns. So if you want to ask, hey Franco, are you gonna travel to countries? Are you going to travel to countries? What do you think the answer is? The answer should be, I'm waiting for your answers. Are you going to travel to countries? Here you have countries, and this is a plural noun. I am not saying country, I'm using countries. So the answer is another
Good.
or other. Are you going to travel to other countries? Okay. Are you going to travel to other countries? Yes, I am. I am going to travel to other countries. Now, in the question, Franco, do you go or are you going to travel to, for example, if we only have this, are you going to travel to country? We have a singular noun. So the answer is another. Are you going to travel to another country? Another example is, hey, do you have another pen? Do you have other, I don't know, other markers? Markers. So I'm using a plural noun here. Don't forget that. Yeah.
Franco, I want to address a couple of questions here.
Yep.
Our friend Huang in Vietnam says, how often do you punish your students when they make mistakes? My
Oh,
answer is
never.
quite simple. Never.
Never.
Never. And I'll tell you why, because mistakes are not a crime. If you murder someone, you get punished. If you steal something, you get punished because they're crimes. In language learning, mistakes are not a crime, they're a benefit. So I never punish them in any way for making mistakes. I encourage
Exactly.
them.
Yep. And that's why I always tell my students that mistakes are welcome in my English class.
Yeah.
This is the only way I know what I have to correct and the way I evaluate my students. So it is wonderful when they make mistakes. If students never make mistakes, then they are wonderful. I mean, they shouldn't be here. They should be studying advanced English. But if a student makes mistakes in class, that is going to tell me that I need to work hard in order to make my student feel and happy with the class. And apart from it, I need to correct every mistake that he's making or she's making. Yep. Is it possible to say he is a good teacher or he's a teacher well? Okay. And once again, I'm going to write the sentence here. So he is a good teacher. He is a good teacher. And the other one is he's a teacher well. Okay. So maybe some of you know the answer. Is that right or wrong? The thing is that in this sentence, you have the word good. And good is, what is this? That is a noun, an adjective, or an adverb. This is an adjective. Okay? This is an adjective. So he is a good teacher. This sentence is perfect. That's correct. You can say he's a good teacher. That's wonderful. But when you're saying he's a teacher well, I understand that you want to say this, but you want to use this. Okay, you want to use the adverb well. So here you can change this. So you eliminate is and a, and then you transform this verb and you change it to, sorry, this word, and you change it to a verb. He teaches well. And here you're saying that he's capable of teaching very well. You are describing the way he teaches. He teaches well. And here you're only describing that he is a good teacher. You're describing the person. Remember that here you're describing the person, the teacher, that he's a good teacher. And here you are describing the way this person teaches. He teaches well. Okay, don't forget it.
Franco, we have time just for a few more comments, so I'm going to put a couple on the screen here.
Sure.
Here's a question for you.
How often do you lose your keys? I would say I don't lose my keys because I always hand my keys and very close to my wardrobe. So they have a very special place. So I never lose my keys. Yeah, never. Yeah.
I feel the same way. I never lose my keys.
Yep.
We have a comment from Carmen.
Carmen, hello, Carmen. Thank you, Carmen Pinedo. Where are you from, Carmen? On the spot language, it is late here on the East Coast, so going to hit hey. Just have to say this is an awesome collaboration. Thank you. I think it is Anish. Anish.
It is Anish, yeah. That's the name of his educational program.
Anish, you are an incredible tutor. You both are
Anish.
Hero.
I was just going to say, Anish, we actually crossed our highest viewer total ever at 71 live viewers tonight. Quite remarkable. I think the record we set previously was when, on the spot, Anish and I did a co-hosting show. So congratulations, Franco. You've broken the record.
Oh, thank you so much. I have to be very grateful to you, Paul, for the invitation, and to all my students who are now watching the live stream here on YouTube, on TikTok. It's wonderful that there are many people who really want to learn English. And yeah, thank you, Catherine Vizcarra, Rosie, Ixco, and my friend from Vietnam. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but Anish, thanks for being here. And wow, it's incredible. How many viewers are there now watching the live stream?
We're down now about 25.
That's great.
It's late in a lot of places, so I understand.
It is 11:30 here in Peru. People are now going to sleep. Yeah.
It's really nice that everyone stayed up late to watch our show, so I really appreciate that. But Franco, we're going to have to wrap it up before my camera melts. Let's talk quickly about some sort of bigger questions that we've been asked, which is when do you go live? Let's talk about large picture questions. When do you go live usually? When can they see you and where?
Okay, thanks guys for asking that. So for those of you who are asking when I go live, I don't know if you understand Spanish, but because the name of your YouTube channel is here on top of the board, so everyone can go and also visit your channel. But I go live on Tuesdays, okay, on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. my time. So if you are from Mexico or Central America, then the class starts 1 hour before at 5:30 p.m. If you are from Bolivia or Venezuela, the class starts at 7:30. And if you are from Argentina and Paraguay and Chile, the class starts 2 hours later. And then
Okay.
on Saturdays, I go live at 8:30 p.m. my time. So I basically go live 3 times a week. Yep.
Wow,
And you
you
can
are a
follow
busy
me
guy.
as Franco the Tutor. Yeah, you can follow me as Franco the Tutor on TikTok, Instagram. But I have to make a big shout out to you, Paul. Thanks for the invitation.
Oh,
Ah,
my
that's
pleasure to have you.
okay.
So, guys, for any of your viewers who would like to watch my show, this time every Friday, right here. However, we'll be closed for a month. Maybe you can share that with them in Spanish, just to
Sure.
make it clear that.
Okay. Chicos, quiero agradecer en este caso a todos aquellos que nos están viendo en la plataforma de TikTok, en la plataforma de YouTube y de Facebook. Y quiero agradecer también al profesor Paul de Canadá. Y aparte quiero comentarles que Paul, él siempre ha estado creando una serie de videos en YouTube. Su canal de Paul es Hard Boiled English, como ustedes pueden verlo aquí. Y él tiene una serie de videos extraordinarios en donde ustedes pueden aprender inglés y ahí les responde todas las preguntas. Son como más cientos de videos. Tienen que verlo, tienen que unirse a su canal. Y aparte, lamentablemente, por este mes, él no va a poder continuar con las clases en vivo, pero va a regresar en abril porque él está trabajando en una serie de proyectos. Va a trabajar en su Writing Workshop, que es una especie de taller de escritura para aquellos que preguntan mucho por el IELTS, aquellos que me preguntan por el TOEFL, que me preguntan por esos exámenes. Saben que Paul les puede ayudar muchísimo con esto. Así que vean, vayan a su canal, Hard Boiled English, y ahí van a encontrar una cantidad de videos geniales. Y wow, de verdad que tiene más videos que yo. Así que pueden ustedes también aprender inglés avanzado o intermedio con él. And that's
Thank you
it.
very much, Franco. I appreciate that.
Don't worry.
Yes, everything, wherever I am on social media, it's Hardboiled English, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, everywhere. That's where you can find me. And both of our links will be in the description box on YouTube. And Franco, this recording of this will be on YouTube tomorrow.
Wonderful.
Permanently. And what I'll do is I'll send it over to your channel too. I'll make a link so that you can post it on your channel.
That's great. That's great. Because I want
anyone who missed it.
Yep.
Anyone who missed it can see it.
Yeah, wonderful. That's great.
Anything else, Franco? Final words?
Final words. Thank you so much, Paul, for having me. I had a great time teaching and meeting so many new students on all these social platforms. I had a great time meeting Anish from On the Spot Language. And I can see many familiar faces: Isabel, Ixco, Yahaira, Gabriel, Elsa. I know that you come from different parts of the world. It is very late now where you are, guys. But thank you so much for joining the live session. Don't forget to follow my friend Paul. You can find him on YouTube as Hard Boiled English. And I'll see you in another class. God bless you, and don't forget to smile.
That's great, Franco. Thank you so much. Allow me to thank you for joining the show tonight. It's always a pleasure to work with you. You're a fantastic teacher. I wish you nothing but the best until I see you next.
Of course.
And let's do this again, because I really enjoyed having you here and sharing your knowledge and your insights and your great lessons. So thank you, Franco.
You're an inspiration, honestly, man. When I saw your YouTube channel first time, I thought one day I want to be like Paul.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Franco. Good night. Get some rest, and I'll catch up with you soon. Okay, Franco? Bye, Franco.
Bye, Paul. Bye. See you guys.
And to all of you who are still with me, thank you very much for joining me tonight. Wasn't Franco fantastic? Let's give him a little applause. Thank you very much, Franco. As Franco mentioned, I will be shutting the show down for a month to get some other projects done. We'll be back in the early spring. So I want you all to take care of your health, Take care of your mental health. Take care of your families. Continue to study English. And until the next time I see you guys, I want you all to stay cool.